The Red Raiders lived up to expectations in week number 1 and absolutely dominated UAPB by a score of 67-7. But week 2 is officially here, and the Red Raiders, they welcome in the Kent State Golden Flashes. In today's video, we'll preview this matchup, give you the latest injury update for QB Bheren Morton, players you need to know for Kent State. I'll give my predictions, and let's talk about those odds for this one, shall we? Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Red and Black Report. Appreciate y'all tuning into this game preview video where we're slowly, getting to games that matter, right? Every game matters, but I want Big 12 play to be here. But there's some work to be done. You can't take Kent State lightly. We'll talk about them in terms of what you can expect from the Golden Flashes, how they ended a long losing streak, as well as some players to know for them as well. But first, let's jump in and talk about QB Bheren Morton. Joey McGuire in his pregame presser leading up to Kent State week at Texas Tech discussed that Bheren Morton did not sustain a very serious injury. He got lucky, Joey McGuire said, in the sense that his ankle did roll. It's more of a pain tolerance, swelling, and stinger type situation when it comes to the hyperextension of his knee. McGuire did go on to say that Bheren Morton would go through the week in the sense of probably starting him out with some 7-on-7 work, then going into normal type practice. And if he is good to go for Saturday, they want to play him. They do not want to lose the rhythm that he currently has, and they want to build upon that. I mean, Bheren Morton looks sensational, and I get it. It's UAPB, I really do, but with how many new guys he had in terms of the skill position players and really guys that are returning but are now on elevated roles, I thought Bheren Morton looked sensational, most notably to TCJ. That was a lot of fun to watch. But they want to get as many live game reps as possible with him in this Mac Leftwich offense. So if he is good to go, he will play. If not, it will be quarterback Will Hammond, who clocked out at 20.2 miles per hour on his 64-yard touchdown run against UAPB in week 1. He will take over for the Red Raiders as QB1 against Kent State if Bheren Morton is not good to go. We will keep you updated as we always do here on the Red and Black Report, and that is just another reason to like the video and hit that subscribe button because, well, it's 100% free. All right. With the injuries out of the way. Oh, I should mention this too. Don't discount this. It sounds like Mike Dingle sustained a pretty serious injury. He was on the star position for the Red Raiders. John Curry was the starter, the Lubbock native who went to Coronado. He started at star, but Mike Dingle was in there, and it sounds like he sustained a pretty serious leg injury and is going to miss some time. Now the depth chart for the Red Raiders when it comes to the star position goes John Curry, A.J. McCarty, and that's no surprise. A.J. McCarty has had some starting time there at the star position in years past, transferring in from Baylor a few years ago, but it will be John Curry for the foreseeable future being the starting star for the Red Raider defense. All right, let's jump into, Kent State. Let's look at their leaders in terms of offense and defense headed into the matchup out in the 806, scheduled for 11 a.m. I believe it's going to be good weather. Well, hopefully better weather than it was on Saturday night against UAPB. All right, here we go. Interesting enough, you look at that in terms of their passing leaders. It's Drew DeShield. However, CJ Montez is their starting quarterback. That was announced, but it sounds like they could be playing two quarterbacks against Texas Tech as well. I mentioned previously that the Golden Flashes had a long losing streak. Their win in week 1 against Merrimack, the Warriors of Merrimack, was their first win in 22 games. They were down bad. They have an interim coach. Good to get back in the win column for them, right? Morale is high there at Kent State. Their leading rusher was Gavin Garcia, but the running back that did the most in this matchup was Cade Wolford. See him down there. He had 2 catches for 109 yards and 2 TDs, the longest being 79 yards. Those are the 3 guys that I'm watching most, though, in terms of I'm looking at CJ at the quarterback spot. Does he get the most run there, or do they continue to go with multiple quarterbacks? We shall see. Drew DeShields is a freshman. He's got some talent as well. Maybe they go that route, but his numbers are kind of skewed from one play where he had 118 passing yards. One of those plays and completions, I should say, was the 79-yarder. So you have that. But those are the guys I'm watching for on offense the most. We move on over to the defense, and there's a couple of guys you need to know for the Golden Flashes. Most notably in the secondary is CJ Young. He had 9 total tackles. 8 of them were assisted. He's solid there. You got really a guy that I'm interested to see on their defensive line. He had a couple of tackles for loss, and that is Jelani Davis. He is a senior. He had 2 solo tackles, 2 assisted, 4 total. He had half a sack, 2 tackles for loss, and 3 yards on the sack there. I'm very interested to see him, as well as Jamon Mathis. So they have some guys that you're going to have to pay attention to, and obviously Mac Leftwich will scheme up to try and negate those guys. But Texas Tech, according to multiple, really, if you believe in power rankings or really just those analytical drivers that rank teams, Kent State is the worst team in the FBS. Texas Tech should dominate in this game. They have some solid players, does Kent State. And this is a step up from UAPB. We'll look at the odds here in just a second to show you just how much of a step up it is. But those are some guys I'm watching, most notably the quarterback side of it. Are they going to play CJ or are they going to play Drew? Who's going to play more? And if it's a quarterback guy by committee, that's just one more ordeal Shield Wood has to account for this Texas Tech defense. That being said, this Texas Tech defense should be able to pin its ears back and get to either of them. Okay, this defensive line, and I don't know which one we're going to yet. The 4 Horsemen, the Fantastic Four. Let me know in the comments which one you like more for this Texas Tech starting defensive line, the Fantastic Four or the 4 Horsemen. I'm leaning one way, but I want to hear from you guys on that front. Nonetheless, those guys should have a field day. Not just them either. I'm talking Duda Banks should have a field day. Charles Esters III should have a field day. I'm watching for this Texas Tech defensive line to get a ton of pressure because I had some people in the comments in the other game for UAPB discuss, they only got 2 sacks. What's going on here? Well, when they're getting the ball out, the quarterback for UAPB, in less than 2 seconds, it's kind of hard to get to the quarterback, right? I think Texas Tech is going to have more success. They had a ton of pressure on UAPB in the first game of the year. I think that translates to the Kent State game, and I think the Red Raiders are absolutely going to show up early and often, most notably on the defensive side of the football. And I think offensively, what I'm looking for more in this one is, do they elevate it? Because it felt kind of vanilla in game 1, and understandably so. You're playing an FCS team. You don't want to show other teams in the Big 12 too much on tape what you're going to be doing, especially against I say this with love, I swear, an inferior opponent, okay? That being said, do you elevate that a little bit just so you know what you're dealing with going into Oregon State, who is going to continue to ladder up to that Utah game in the Big 12 opener out in Salt Lake City here in a couple weeks? I think you're going to see either or Bheren Morton and Will Hammond. Doesn't matter. I think you're going to see both. If Bheren Morton does play, you'll see Mitch Griffiths as well. You're going to see multiple quarterbacks for the Red Raiders because I think this game gets out of hand. But let's go ahead and look at really everything you need to know from the standpoint of, okay, what do the odds look like in this one? They're lofty. They're lofty. It opened at 45.5. It has since gone up to 47.5 for the Red Raiders. So you look at that. The implied point total for the Kent State Golden Flashes in this one is in the neighborhood of about 5.5. Wild. For reference, UAPB, their point total going into the game, it was around 4.5. So it's not much of an increase, right? But Texas Tech is heavy favorites in this one. You look around and you can get the line as low as 47.5, 48 if you're on the Kent State side. I know a lot of people said, no way Texas Tech covers the 52.5. And hey, hand up for accountability. I was one of those people. I didn't think they would cover it. Joke's on me. They covered it and then some by 60. They had 60 points in terms of what they had in the point differential aspect of things against UAPB. Texas Tech is heavy favorites in this one. And when it comes to my prediction, I think Texas Tech absolutely dominates in this game. I think I'm interested to see if Bheren Morton plays, but I don't think it'll be the be-all, end-all. I think you're going to have a seamless transition to Will Hammond if he plays. And again, another reason to like the video and hit that subscribe button. We will update you right away once we hear if Bheren Morton is playing on Saturday or if he's not, right? But either way, I think you're going to see multiple quarterbacks play for Texas Tech, whether that's Bheren Morton, Will Hammond, and Mitch Griffs, or whether it's no Bheren Morton, and then it's Will Hammond and Mitch Griffs, okay? You're going to see multiple quarterbacks because I think the Red Raiders absolutely dominate Kent State, bring them back down to earth after their win against Merrimack last week to end a 21-game losing streak for the Golden Flashes. I think the Red Raiders go out there, and I think they score 70 on Kent State. My score prediction for this one is 70-7, Texas Tech. I want to hear from you guys, though. Let me know your score prediction down on the pinned comment below. Again, mine, 70-7. I don't really care who starts at Texas Tech for the quarterback position for the Red Raiders. I think they dominate either way, and I think the Red Raiders head into that Oregon State week where it wouldn't surprise me if they're 20-point favorites against Oregon State at home. But they handle business at home, and the Red Raiders move to 2-0 and hopefully get QB1 as close to 100% healthy going into these more meaningful games later on in the season. But again, my score prediction, 70-7. Let me know yours down on the pinned comment below. And while you're down there, be sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button for 100% free Texas Tech football content all year long, whether it's on the gridiron or in the portal, high school recruiting ranks, or injury updates. We've got you covered right here on the most interactive group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube in the Red and Black Report. All right, I'm RC Maxfield reminding you, as always, stay safe and Wreck 'em Tech.